Gotama Buddha talks of his ascetic practices. Translation by Lord Chalmers. Gotama Buddha is speaking to Shariputra, one of his favorite disciples. I, Shariputra, I have lived the fourfold higher life. I have been an ascetic of ascetics. Loathly have I been, foremost in loathliness. Scrupulous have I been, foremost in scrupulosity. Solitary have I been, foremost in solitude. I to such a pitch of asceticism have I gone that naked was I, flouting life's decencies, licking my hands after meals, never heeding when folk called to me to come or to stop, never accepting food brought to me before my rounds or cooked expressly for me, never accepting an invitation, never receiving food direct from pot or pan or within the threshold or among the faggots or pestles, never from one only two people messing together, never from a pregnant woman or a nursing mother or a woman in coitu, never from gleanings in time of famine, nor from where a dog is ready at hand or where, hungry, flies congregate, never touching flesh or spirits or strong drink or brews of grain. I have visited only one house a day and there taken only one morsel. Or I have visited but 2 or up to not more than 7 houses a day and taken at each only 2 or up to not more than 7 morsels. I have lived on a single saucer of food a day, or on 2, or up to 7 saucers. I have had but 1 meal a day, or 1 every 2 days, or so on, up to every 7 days, or only once a fortnight, on a rigid scale of rationing. My sole diet has been herbs gathered green, or the grain of wild millets and paddy, or snippets of hide, or water plants, or the red powder round rice grains within the husk, or the discarded scum of rice on the boil, or the flour of oil seeds, or grass, or cow dung. I have lived on wild roots and fruit, or on windfalls only. My raiment has been of hemp or of hempen mixture, of cerements, of rags from the dust heap, of bark, of the black antelope's pelt either whole or split down the middle, of grass, of strips of bark or wood, of hair of men or animals woven into a blanket or of owls' wings in fulfillment of my vows. I have plucked out the hair of my head and the hair of my beard, have never quitted the upright for the sitting posture, have squatted and never risen up, moving only a squat, have couched on thorns, have gone down to the water punctually thrice before nightfall to wash away the evil within. After this wise, in divers fashions, have I lived to torment and to torture my body to such a length in asceticism have I gone. To such a length have I gone in loathliness that on my body I have accumulated the dirt and filth of years till it dropped off of itself even as the rank growths of years fall away from the stump of a tinduka tree. But never once came the thought to me to clean it off with my own hands or to get others to clean it off for me, to such a length in loathliness have I gone. To such a length in scrupulosity have I gone that my footsteps out and in were always attended by a mindfulness so vigilant as to awake compassion within me over even a drop of water lest I might harm tiny creatures in crevices, to such a length have I gone in scrupulosity. To such a length have I gone as a solitary that when my abode was in the depths of the forest, the mere glimpse of a cowherd or neathered or grass cutter, or of a man gathering firewood or edible roots in the forest, was enough to make me dart from wood to wood, from thicket to thicket, from dale to dale, and from hill to hill, in order that they might not see me or I them. As a deer at the sight of man darts away over hill and dale, even so did I dart away at the mere glimpse of cowherd, neathered, or what not, in order that they might not see me or I them, to such a length have I gone as a solitary. When the cowherds had driven their herds forth from the byres, up I came on all fours to find a subsistence on the droppings of the young milch cows. So long as my own dung and urine held out, on that I have subsisted. So foul a filth eater was I. I took up my abode in the awesome depths of the forest, depths so awesome that it was reputed that none but the passionless could venture in without his hair standing on end. When the coil season brought chill wintry nights, then it was that, in the dark half of the months when snow was falling, I dwelt by night in the open air and in the dank thicket by day. But when there came the last broiling month of summer before the rains, I made my dwelling under the baking sun by day and in the stifling thicket by night. Then there flashed on me these verses, never till then uttered by any. Now scorched, now froze, in forest dread, alone, naked and fireless, set upon his quest. The hermit battles purity to win. In a charnel ground I lay me down with charred bones for pillow. When the cowherd's boys came along, They spat and staled upon me, pelted me with dirt and stuck bits of wood into my ears. Yet I declare that never did I let an evil mood against them arise within me. So poised in equanimity was I. Some recluses and Brahmins there are who say and hold that purity cometh by way of food, and accordingly proclaim that they live exclusively on jujube fruits, which, in one form or other, constitute their sole meat and drink. Now I can claim to have lived on a single jujube fruit a day. If this leads you to think that this fruit was larger in those days, you would err, for it was precisely the same size then that it is today. When I was living on a single fruit a day, my body grew emaciated in the extreme. Because I ate so little, my members, great and small, grew like the knotted joints of withered creepers. Like a buffalo's hoof were my shrunken buttocks. Like the twists in a rope were my spinal vertebrae. Like the crazy rafters of a tumble-down roof, that start askew and aslant, were my gaunt ribs. Like the starry gleams on water deep down and afar in the depths of a well, shone my gleaming eyes deep down and afar in the depths of their sockets. And as the rind of a cut gourd shrinks and shrivels in the heat, so shrank and shriveled the scalp of my head, and all because I ate so little. If I sought to feel my belly, it was my backbone which I found in my grasp. If I sought to feel my backbone, I found myself grasping my belly, so closely did my belly cleave to my backbone, and all because I ate so little. If for ease of body I chafed my limbs, the hairs of my body fell away under my hand, rotted at their roots, and all because I ate so little. Other recluses and Brahmins there are who, saying and holding that purity cometh by way of food, proclaim that they live exclusively on beans or sesamum rice as their sole meat and drink. Now I can claim to have lived on a single bean a day, on a single sesamum seed a day, or a single grain of rice a day, and the result was still the same. Never did this practice or these courses or these dire austerities bring me to the ennobling gifts of superhuman knowledge and insight. And why? Because none of them lead to that noble understanding which, when won, leads on to deliverance and guides him who lives up to it onward to the utter extinction of all ill.